Onto this now, there's a growing and a disturbing trend in the country. Schools are being robbed and vandalized. Some have even been burnt down. At least 55 schools have been attacked in Gauteng alone since the lockdown started. To discuss this, I'm joined by the Gauteng Education Spokesperson, Mr. Steve Mabona. Mr. Mabona, thanks for your time. Let's start with the ones that are being burnt down. How many are they in the province, and who do you suspect is responsible?
Thank you very much, Dolly, and to all our viewers. Look, we have 4 schools that were banned, and fortunately, the police have arrested 2 suspects. So they continue with the investigation on that one. We not going to speculate much, but we are thankful that in some areas where we are vandalized, the members of the community are reporting. So we can confirm that yesterday there's about 3 schools where the criminals were not fortunate enough. They were actually arrested while committing the crime.
Yeah.
So we are quite happy about that.
While you are careful not to speculate, Mr. Mabona, and I respect that, but the Premier of the province did touch on the issue during a media briefing last week, where he said that there are people or there are contractors that the province works with, but there are also rogue elements. What was he insinuating there?
No, look, like I said, we will rely on the law enforcement agencies. As you might have seen, we are very much consistent in what we say in our statements. Everything we leave it to the law enforcement agencies to assist us, and we appeal to the members of the community to always report. And we are actually indebted to those that will always, report these cases. So up to so far, at least we do have some arrests. People will be saying, but why don't we have arrests? We do have arrests which emanate from people reporting. So, like I said, we can't speculate. We will then, leave it to the law enforcement agencies to assist us.
All right. So the ones that are being burgled then, why aren't there security guards outside the premises?
Well, you will understand that some of our schools don't have actually security. They will rely on volunteers. Volunteers at some point, they will not probably want to continue volunteering because we give them a stipend, if you want me to put it that way. And people risk their lives, to safeguard our property.
Yeah.
So we actually then rely on community safety to assist us with that video volunteers because most of them, they come from the CPF, environment.
Can I quickly follow up on that then? Okay, can I quickly follow up and ask you this question? There has been some speculation that it's quite possible that the schools are being attacked by people who previously would have held security contracts with some of these schools, and those contracts are now being terminated, and possibly these are the same people who are trying to put pressure on the department to try and make sure that the contracts are renewed, so to speak.
No, but that question was posed to the NEC, and his response was that, we're talking about volunteers. They get stipend. So if the contract ended, like in the China area, we were told that in March, some of the volunteers, their contract ended, and they are finalizing the process of probably appointing other people who will be volunteering. Looking at the stipend, so you cannot say, paint people with a brush and say they are vandalizing our schools and go to an extent of banning them because they want to be brought back to be volunteers.
All right. Steve Mabona, thank you very much for that update on this terrible trend of the burning and vandalizing of schools here in Gauteng in particular, but it's also happening in other provinces such as KZN.